Okay, time to take this door down. I'm taking a nail set. I'm just going to pop the bottom up of the hinge pin so I can grab onto it. Most hinges you can do this. Sometimes you can't. You might have to use a little nail. Then I'm going to find my cutters. Yeah, I use some cutters. I just use those dikes like that. I'm going to hang on to the hinge pin. And you know what? Let's you can't really see the bottom one that I'm going to do, but I'm just going to tap that up. I'm going to try to keep these off of the carpet. I don't want to get any grease on there. So see, I'm hanging on to that, and I'm just going to use this to tap on that. Don't get too close up to the door jamb and stuff. And I'm going to, because it's an 8-foot tall door, I'm just going to do the top one first. I don't have to mess with that at the end. Once I take all of these pins out, the door's going to go ka-clunk. And I'm going to have to be careful with this one because because it's a double door, I'm going to have to probably hang on to it so it doesn't fall. That's why I didn't want to do that top one last off the ladder. Now I can just do this one, and I can kind of hold this, make sure it doesn't fall against the wall inside the closet. Well, see, I guess it wouldn't. It's hitting up there. I don't usually like to turn my back on a door, especially if this is a solid core door. It could flop down and do some damage. You could mess up your door. You know, that's the last thing we want, right? And if this was just a single door, I would pull this out from the door jamb a little bit, away from the strike, just at a slight angle, so that I don't have to mess with that when the door wants to tip down. Okay, now I just lift that up. Because I'm going to work on those two hinges, just be kind of aware of how you're going to set this down, how you're going to hold it. I can flop it back and forth like that to move it out a little bit. As you tilt it, you want to make sure you don't hit anything. And I'm just going to kind of have a game plan of where I'm going to set this door so I can show you on video what I'm going to do next. Okay? So, I think this will be fine. Right like that. Okay. I hope you're learning things as you go. You know, sometimes I may repeat myself during certain things, but just know I try to keep my videos as useful as possible, and I'm doing this for your benefit, not for mine. I'm trying to show you certain things, how you can save money, how you can fix things around your house on your own. So even if I do repeat myself, like sometimes, you know, the more you hear the same thing, the more it ingrains in your brain on, okay, yeah, I heard that before, and it starts sticking, you know what I mean? So anyways, my next step on what I need to do, and what is it going to require? It's going to require a crescent wrench, and I'm hoping this one's going to do. I've got a little small one, but I don't think that one's going to work. I don't think I'm going to have enough give on it. Went to the store yesterday specifically for some things, and one of the things I wanted to do was get another crescent wrench. So we're ready for the next step. You see, my next step is going to be taking these nibs and bending them down just a little bit. And I can generally do that on 3.5-inch hinges because it's not as stout as 4-inch hinges, let's say, or 4.5-inch. In fact, I have done commercial hinges with 4.5-inch, and I just take a bigger crescent wrench to do that. But I use a crescent wrench. I can't use a pair of pliers or anything, because on pliers you've got, you know, all this business here going on, and if I were to grab that with a pair of pliers and bend down, I'm going to leave all kinds of marks on these hinges, and that's what I don't want to do. That's why I use a crescent wrench. Sometimes you can use open-end box wrenches, but you got to get the exact right one, because it's a happy medium. I got to have this exactly where I want it, and I've got to decide, do I want to put it on this way or do I want to put it on this way? I don't think I can do that way as much before this hits the door. I'm probably going to end up going this way, and I'm going to hold it back away from the back side of the wood a little bit, and then I'm just going to bear down on it and bend down. You see what I mean? And I want to keep in the middle of this. I don't want to get too close to the top or the bottom, because you could tweak this bit and not get it flat down. I want this whole thing straight down, straight down, straight down. You see what I'm doing here? And because I have the other thing, these have to be nice and tight, because if those were loose, I could just bend this hinge right off the door. You know, that's going to be a no-no, and I'm good with that. These are tight, and generally this is the way you're bending them for things like we're doing. You don't have to bend this up. There's very seldom a time where I'd have to take my crescent, or this is called a spanner wrench, and go up the other way, because that's the very opposite of usually what most doors are doing. Okay, so that's going to be my next step. And if you have just a small crescent, see this, I mean, I could probably do it with this small one too. And bear down on it, and then maybe the last thing you want is to get too close and put an indentation. That's why you don't want to use this edge of your crescent wrench. You know, if you go down there, you could dig that and have a nice little pretty mark on your door. Okay. And how far do I know to do this? I don't exactly, but I'm going to go down to wherever I feel I need to. Okay, so that's my next step. I don't do this all the time. I've done this maybe to 15 doors probably in the last 10 years or less. Okay, look at that. Looks fine. And I'm gonna get my full force on here, and I'm gonna try to press down about the same amount. See how I just bent that? I'm gonna take this one and do about the same amount that I did on that one. Same amount. I'm just trying to do it the same. Now I can step back and look at this and see that this one's got to go down over here just a bit, and I can kind of eyeball this. It looks like this middle one's got to go down just a little bit. Might have gone too much on this one.
How's it going?
Good. Okay. Don't worry if you go too far. Don't worry about it, because once you put it up there, you'll have to take it back down and do it again. You know, I want to look at this, and it looks like I've done pretty good. This middle one maybe has to go down just a hair farther. Okay. So now I want to, see there? I did that with this small crescent wrench. I didn't need the bigger one after all, but I'm going to keep this in my toolbox. I've got a bigger size than this too. You never know when you're going to need this. I could maybe need this if these hinges were 4-inch. They're going to be a little bit thicker, and especially 4.5-inch. I may have to bear down on this one or use a bigger crescent wrench on 4.5. But usually on residential, you don't have anything like that. Okay, maybe your front door. Okay, so let's do this one here. And on this one, I'm going to try to not do it as much as this first hinge. Okay, because I want a little bit with this one, a little bit more on this one because we're coming up at an angle. Okay? This one, I'm just doing this a touch, that's all. Did you see it move? It's still slightly. If I eyeball it, I can see that I moved that down a little bit. Okay. Just a tad here. I don't want this one. I don't want to bend this one as much as the top one because we're coming up at an angle. If I do that middle one just the same amount as this one, as this top one, the same amount as that, when I put the door back on, the door frame, this one's going to be harder to get on because I bent that one just as far as that. If you could see, we're trying to taper up on how that door was laying. So I'm going to look at this, and it looks pretty good. See it lining up. If anything, that top one has to go down just a hair. And I'm just using my eye because we want the pin to go back in there. And this other one looks pretty good too. Okay, so that's my next step. So now we're going to rehang this door in the opening. Now can you see what you think is going to happen here? That door should be up there and it should now be pushed over closer to those top hinges, and that's going to raise the right hand side of the door up, and it should not rub on that other door. That's all the theory we have. The next thing is we got to pop this door back in place.